I don't want that.
Locked up
You
is
are gonna get destroyed.
Yes,
I
we're gonna
don't want to
get
get destroyed because I know we're gonna
Oi,
get
KM, my ear.
Okay,
Just
okay,
start so
okay,
we can
don't
get
breathe.
destroyed and can...
KM, my ear.
Ja, ga je mute, gast, mogol.
Ah wel, Natix, wij hadden onze teamnaam van Keizer veranderen naar voor Jorik Rood Kutje. Zou dat opvallen?
Nee, eigenlijk niet.
Are you Dutch?
Yes.
Yo, what are we waiting for?
Dat jij niet
you guys.
KM's back! Can start.
Can we
Cool.
start?
Okay, yeah.
Come on.
I'm gonna start. Cool. Have fun, guys.
Oh, no, don't start. Oh, problem.
Okay, cool. So we are live with Team Vision versus Locked Up. When it loads in. So we've actually got Team Locked Up on attack with Moon, Zeri, Hades, Natix, and Gunner. And then on the defense, we've got Vision, we've got Aspect, KM. I'll work that one out in a minute. Rash and Experty. IQ main? I don't know. I'm just going to call him Ick. Thatcher Band coming out from Vision. And Locked Up banning out the Jackal, which I think they asked for that not to get banned, so that's a little bit cheeky of them. There was a gentleman's agreement not to ban the Mirror, so let's see if one of these teams breaks that. Legion gets banned. I've seen Locked Up actually ban out the Jackal leasing quite a few times. It seems like they're default bans at this point, which is, I think, plays a little bit into the fact that they run a Monty quite often, obviously for the Legion ban. And I suppose, I'm not so sure about the Jackal ban. I suppose maybe they view themselves as quite a roam heavy team. And the Gentleman's Agreement gets broken with the Mirror ban. Luckily no rage quits being caused by that. Got 3 people watching at the moment. Leave your comments, leave your predictions down. So going into this, Locked Up, from what I've seen, are definitely one of the top teams in the league. Vision, I think, definitely have a potential to do so. I think they've been memeing around in a couple of games, and I think they've not shown their full potential. I think if they take this seriously, it will be a very even game. The Mute Mozzie combo coming out from Vision, mixed in with a Castle and a Pulse, a double UMP combo. They've actually gone to Kitchen first, so maybe they're very confident in their kitchen setup here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
I think this is my first time casting Villa, so very large map, quite a lot to spectate, it's going to be fun. Interesting reinforcement setup here. I'm wondering if they're investing very much into the top floor. By the looks of it, no. They're actually reinforcing the hatch, so potentially they're just going to sit below the C4s and just use the Mute C4, Mozzie C4 and the Pulse C4 and just use that to try and hold vertical. Which then offers them a lot of reinforcement to use downstairs and keep the site protected.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
There's no vigil, so no full drone denial coming out here, but with that said, Locked Up, I've got the operators where you don't necessarily need to drone as much. You can face check with a Monty and the Blackbeard a lot more than other operators. So if you're here, going early to get this castle barricade off makes a lot of sense, and now Moon's just going to sit here and just hold this angle. I've seen Moon do similar plays on border, and it really is a nuisance. So, yeah, as predicted, Vision pretty much roaming horizontally and not really holding top floor at all. And the attackers here actually planting already. Very early planting here. Let's see if the C4 gets a double kill. It gets the first. Hades survives it, but a bit of a cheap plant coming out there from Locked Up. I'm surprised to see them go for that so soon.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped. Attackers recovered.
There's one C4 off the board. I think they've still got... Yeah, they've got 2 in play. The team kill coming out from locked up. Moon has been sat on this angle, presumably the entire round. He's just got the down onto KM, but so far the only down was Rash from ViZN, and he's been picked up. So 3v5 here. KM does get picked up. Moon just sat on this angle. I think he's got to go make a play at some point. Pro Gunner has actually got a kill, so he's opened this up a little bit for his team here. But with the Monty gone, they've lost their protection to get this plant down. I'm not sure I like the fact that Moon is still hard stuck on this angle. He's lost both of his drones, and okay, he's a Blackbeard and he's not going to die on this angle, but he's also not going to make a play. At least puts a lot of pressure on Zeri to make a movement into sight, whereas Pro Hard Gunner's got the diffuser, he can't do much either. So Zeri does actually kill the pulse, so ooh, almost, he downs the Mozzie as well by the looks of it, so almost a double kill coming out from him here. I'm not sure if he's aware that he's down the Mozzie. They have lost the diffuser, so Moon finally on the move here, completely unaware of a shotgun next to him. Who... Oh, sorry, that was actually the Jaeger next to him. And just like that, ViZN taking the first round with a convincing sight hold. I gotta say, I don't think that was the best attack from Locked Up. They didn't make any attempt for vertical pressure, and the plant was a little bit cheap. Going in against a load of C4s, I think they can do better than that. We'll see how it pans out throughout the rest of the match. Good decision from ViZN to go down to the kitchen first. They are actually going to trophy, so AVG not on their list to start off. I doubt we'll see any living room, so it will presumably be their third site. I'm intrigued to see what Moon does with the Blackbeard. I'm assuming he's going to sit on Astro Repel for quite a lot of this round. He loves just picking up one of those positions and just sitting on it. I just wonder if it costs his team a little bit of drone work occasionally, if he's not able to come off. I assume he sets up flank drones before going onto his angles, but it does unfortunately look like a couple of players are suffering a little bit of ping issues. I'm not sure how the servers have been the last couple of days. So once again, the Mute Mozzie combo coming out. ViZN here running a lot of 2 armor, 2 speed operators. No anchors coming out. There's no Maestro on the board. There's no Echo on the board. Obviously the Jaeger, Ella. The Jaeger's 2-2 as well. So just for 1 3 speed actually coming out.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
They have set up here to hold the entirety of the AVG side of the map.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Locked Up here. I got the one guy spawning over on this AVG ruin side. He's going to have a very tough time actually getting into study. Looks like he's actually heading around for trophy entrance. Could be the play. And yeah, Moon, pretty much as I expected, just going straight onto this Astro Repel. Checking the ADS, actually spotting 1 and burning the first of the 2 charges. And they have descended into this full bedroom take, having actually had a couple of people spawn on the other side of the map, so this could work out well for them. There's no impact trick coming up on ViZN's side. Jaeger getting aggressive. There's actually no Astro rotate here, which potentially makes Moon's life a little bit harder. And all of them just tucked up near site. Only the Mozzie really on his own over by AVG, but nobody over here pressuring him. I'm assuming that they are aware of this Mozzie by the angles that they're holding. Locked Up here playing very static, holding a lot of angles. I'm just concerned that they don't have enough movement to be able to actually get into. With that said, the Thermite has managed to breach a wall, so the Mute Jammer's not doing their trick there. I'm not sure how they actually got the Mute Jammers off the wall, because the Thatcher is banned. I'm assuming they went below. Perhaps Sophia used the utility to get it. I'm not sure if the Thermite must be aware that the L is playing around there. Possibly the most aggressive play here as the Mozzie is the first person to get killed by the Hibana. Hades is actually playing below, so he hasn't used any of his utility yet. Playing perhaps more of a frag role on this Hibana at the moment. Natix here has been sat on the site breaches and the door for a good minute or so, just waiting to see if he can make a play. But again, I don't think they've got the intel to break down this relatively site-heavy hold. It is a 4-4. That is actually in sight now, so it looks like he's about to go for the plant. I'm not sure that ViZN are fully able to counter this. The C4s are coming out. It does actually injure the Thermites. The plant is denied for now. Only 3 people up for locked up. An expert there with an absolute flurry of kills. IQ, or Ick, as I decided to call him, getting 1 as well. And not a good start here for locked up, who they did a good job of breaching the bedroom wall here, but they just didn't seem to be able to get into sight, and they didn't have a fragger to actually push through the entrances. And I wonder if they're just taking the time now to actually go and talk about the round and plan ahead for the changes they need to make.
Operators, you are out of time.
2-0 here for ViZN. So let's see if we see a VG or if we go down to living room. As expected, living room is the rejected site. I think it's just a bit too easy to take control of the piano and main entrance side of it and just force open that wall and get the plant down. We do actually see a smoke coming out, so finally a more traditional anchor coming out from ViZN. Still no Echo Maestro combos, which I'm a little bit surprised about. I casted a game the other day where Echo was left in play, and he seems to be completely forgotten about at the moment. Which is a shame, because he's got a fantastic gun and fantastic utility, but teams just preferring to take the 2-2 kind of what I like to refer to as the C4 operators. People like Mute, Mozzie, Valkyrie. I don't know what it is about them. In some ways I consider them fairly ranked-based operators. They're fairly easy to use utility. You just kind of throw down your Valk cams, you throw down your Mozzie Pest, and you kind of forget about them. Whereas people playing Echo have to constantly be worrying about staying alive to make the most out of the Yokais. Valkyrie, you can go spawn peek, die, and then the rest of the round you can make fallouts, and it doesn't really do any harm to your team, so unless you get a lot more aggressive. And again,
10 seconds remaining.
ViZN not doing anything particularly novel or
5 seconds left.
creative, but playing a fairly standard roam across the other side of the map with reinforcements, and presumably some of the Mozzie's Pest place over on the side of the map, which is, I think, obviously it's been working for them so far with the 2 rounds that they have played. These horizontal roams not really getting challenged by Locked Up, who seems to prefer just pushing straight into sight. I'm assuming that ViZN have picked up on this. And I think we're about to see Moon's 3rd spot of the entire game, which is on this 90 rappel. So if you ever wondered what Moon does, he sits on 1 of 3 angles depending on what your sight is. Smoke here on the main stairs, playing with the shield. I don't know if he's got an ADS actually protecting him, so this could be fairly easy to get rid of, although Locked Up not running any nades. And that is Zeri, the Hibana, getting picked off there by Ick. And this roam again, actually very heavy this time. There's 3 of them over there, and only expert left on site is the bandit. I'm not sure if the attackers are aware of this. They could actually just push into site really quickly with this, especially with this rotate by bookshelves left open. But no interest coming out from the attackers are getting straight into site. Expert just peeking out into the breach a little bit. Playing a risky game here as the attacker is definitely aware of his presence. And now the Jaeger has been detected by this Thermite, who swings in and gets the kill onto him. I'm not sure if he's aware of this other player, just tucked down by the rotate. And that is Natix getting another kill in sight here as a Thermite. He doesn't actually have a diffuser, I don't think. I can't. Oh, diffuser's actually down, sorry. So the diffuser is not in a position to get planted.
Attackers recovered the
Rash
diffuser.
and Aspect on the retake here. Aspect playing a dangerous game, peeking into the Blackbeard on the Astro Repel, 90 Repel, sorry. And it's now all down to just Aspect in this 1v4 situation. Does get the 1 kill. 1v3 situation with Blackbeard left on the board, not ideal. I'm surprised that even this far into the round, Moon still seems to be on his 90 Repel. And Locked Up finally get their first round on the board. Good round there from Pro Gunner. And Natix as well, pushing into site, getting a couple of kills. It was very well done from them. Now, 2-1 so far. I'll be intrigued to see if they go back to AVG or if they do go back to Kitchen. So this is going fairly as expected on Villa. The risk with starting Kitchen, in my opinion, is that once you've shown off your first strat for it, it can become a little bit obvious how you like to play it. It'll be intriguing to see if Locked Up tries to just push into site again. It does look like they've dropped for Monty for now. So we're seeing more or less the same strat coming out. They've dropped the Pulse for the they've dropped the Mozzie for the Ella for the bottom floor. So perhaps not as much emphasis on the C4s. But I think Locked Up's attack was too shallow to really get into sight last time, and if they don't change something, I don't see them taking this round.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
It certainly looks like they're setting this up in the same way. Maybe just deciding that 3 C4s was too much and just wanting to have a little bit of fun running around on Miela. Scoreboard's fairly even for the most part. Ick and Pro Hard Gunner are racking up the kills so far. Aspect and Expert kind of backing up the fragging potential on Vision side at the moment. Again, we don't see any reinforcements on walls upstairs, only the hatch reinforced to keep the drop into laundry safe. I'm intrigued to see if Moon goes back to the same angle, because although I can see the use of this angle, I think sitting on it for the whole round is a bit of a waste. And they are using their utility to get this castle straight off the board, and I'm not sure that that's a... In fact, they're not going to be able to get rid of it unless they use the Habana pellets on it, which makes sense. Locked Up really don't play into the 20-second meta. They don't run an Ash, Sophia, or any nades. So a Maestro here against them could really do a lot of harm.
Attackers have located a bomb.
And Locked Up's attacks are just so slow-paced. I'm really quite surprised with the way that they're picking to get into this a second time. Just going through this wall in laundry, and whilst they're opening the breach, they're not opening enough aspects of the map to actually make any entrance into sight. I think they have got more vertical pressure this time than last time, so as I say that, they potentially could get the vertical angles onto the anchors here. And the Jaeger's got himself into a very aggressive position. Jaeger potentially able to retake this top floor control, which could be absolutely crucial. The Habana drops down into highway. She must have seen him, because the Qualight looks to have gone across to the IQ here. Who's just very patient here, waiting for the Jaeger to run around. Natix managed to breach for sight. He's seen the shoulder of the castle, but not able to get the kill. And rushes into sight. A little bit of a rash decision there from him. Diffuser has been dropped in this awkward laundry spot. There he go with the kill onto Rash. And the Blackbeard gets the kill. It's a 2v4 situation.
Attackers recovered the bomb.
2v3. Just for Pulse and the Jaeger left to try and retake the side. But Pulse does not have the gun to be trying this. And the plant is going down, and Ick is in completely the wrong place. He does get the kill on Habana. So 2v1, plant's gone down. This is definitely winnable. Hades is lit up. Ick's got full HP. Only a couple of shots away from turning this into a 1v1. The diffuser is in an awkward place and the attackers have got good angles. Just holding this crossfire. And it is 2-2. And that is potentially the disadvantage of going kitchen twice. a site where the attackers can work out how you like to play it and adapt. They just took the vertical pressure, they didn't overpush it, they didn't take the whole of the top floor, they just took the bedroom. And just that little bit of extra pressure can really turn Kitchen against you. They are back to trophy, so they look to be doing a full site cycle here. I gotta admit, at first, having watched that, I didn't think Locked Up were actually adapting very much, but they did just about enough top floor to throw the anchors out of position, and but actually it actually led to the roamers of ViZN having to try and retake top floor, which potentially split up their crossfires more than the anchors getting pushed out of sight did. Double hard breach coming out here from Locked Up every single round, which on Villa is useful. It's not meta. I wouldn't say you see it every time. Running the double hard breach when you're not running an Ash Sophia surprises me a little bit.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I almost feel like they're using the Habana for some of the castle barricades, which puts her in almost a similar role, I suppose. But the they do actually bring a Maestro this time, ViZN, so those Evil-Eyes are going to be a nightmare for Locked Up in the final minutes when they just don't have any utility to get rid of them. And if they're in a spot to deny the plant, they could be absolutely crucial. And even if they don't deny the plant, the intel you get from Maestro throughout the entire round, you could just set one up on this Astro wall looking at where Moon plays and he would just be detected the entire round. I suppose you don't really need an Evil Eye to do that. Playing with a little bit of the bedroom wall open here, which they banned the Thatcher out, so I'm surprised to see the strat coming out from them. Although last time the wall did get opened fairly easily, so I'm wondering if they just think it wasn't working. Moon on his way around to his spot. And he has lost one drone. I think his second one is actually in use somewhere, which kind of answers my question earlier about whether or not he puts down flank drones. Expert here, all 3 ADSs in walking closet with him. And again, Locked Up don't run any nades, so this is an extremely useful setup where he's not going to get blinded by a flashbang, and he can just sit in here with a shotgun.
I'm reloading.
Only 2 flashbangs left on the side of Locked Up. They are not going to get rid of these ADSs. And that is nearly all of the projectiles gone. 2 Evil Eyes still up. And this, crucially, this mute just allowed to play shotgun in the walking still, although he does, with his shots here, it looks like he was lagging out a little bit. I'm not sure if that was just on my side or on his, but the attackers just brute forcing their way into bathroom and walk-in. Maestro here, holding the angle into walk-in. Hades does get injured on that IQ and drops the diffuser down.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Natix gets the kill, putting them in a slight advantage with an extra person but less HP, so fairly balanced round so far. Rash here, absolutely crucial in terms of holding down this Astro control. Aspect just opening up the other side of the site for the defenders, making sure that the attackers can't walk in safely and plant. The Jaeger here really going to struggle to get back into it with so little HP. If the site players here lose control, he is not going to stand much chance at retaking. I'm actually surprised to see him play so far off. I wonder if he's going to go for a floor bang towards the end of a round. That might push him. The Ellis sees him, but falls off the angle. Potentially wise to do so. And Plant is going down. She's going to have to try and swing into side. This Thermite just crawls along the floor. Rash denies the plant with only 10 seconds left to go. It's a tricky position here for Locked Up to get the diffuser back. Hades is now planting. Thermite is down. 2v2 situation. Plant going down at the very, very last second, and Ick now on this retake.
Attackers are activating the diffuser.
And this is where his lack of HP is really going to come and hurt him. Even though one player is downed for Locked up. It doesn't seem that the defenders are aware of this. Goes for a jump out. Catches the IQ on her
Defender
cams.
exposed.
If he can get the thermite here, then he could put it into a 1v1 situation, but taking on this Blackbeard is going to be so difficult for him.
Attackers need to protect the diffuser. Position compromised.
The attackers seem to have just left him be. They don't seem to be particularly aware of... And Moon does finish it off. I think if Ick had actually stuck that from the start, he might have been able to sneak it off, but... Locked up have swung their way into the game, having been at 1.2-0 down. And ViZN struggling to hold on to their objectives the second time they go to them. I wonder if they'll go back to 8. No, they are going trophy, so AVG really off their radar. Much prefer the trophy and kitchen side. I would argue that the Mute Mozzie combo isn't very effective against a team who likes to run Blackbeard and Monty. And whilst I think the Mute's being used to protect a couple of walls, I'm surprised to see them not bring out more annoying utility like Goyo, Wamai. What you're doing with the Mute in the bathroom you could also do with potentially back it up with a Wamai, maybe put someone else with a shotgun in there like Ella. I'm just not sure that they're making full use out of the lack of projectiles, or more specifically, the lack of explosives like grenades or Ash and Sophia charges that Locked Up are failing to bring. The castle barricades are the only real thing, and that can be destroyed by the Hibana so easily that it doesn't really make much use of the disadvantage of Locked Up's lineup.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go.
I am unfortunately streaming on low quality, as I tried starting it on high quality and it did come up, but it disconnected me straight away. So I'm going to clip this at the end and I will try to re-upload it for better quality. And Moon has got frustrated by the looks of it and has resorted to just whacking this castle barricade. Presumably been waiting too long for this Hibana to come over and help him. And that C4 was so close to taking him out, but he gets away with it. I'm not sure if it's intentional here from ViZN not to open this Astro rotate, but it's actually working out in their favour, as it means that Moon isn't getting as many useful angles from his rappel as he normally would. And that is an interesting use of Hibana pellets. That is an angle I had never considered before to put this Mute in a really awkward situation. And Mute turns into a living crossmat as the drone presumably does spawn. There's actually 2 drones on him there. I'm not sure if they're caught in a Mute jammer. KM does get picked off. So does Expert as well, so the attacker's looking very strong here on their 4th round in their favour so far. Let's see if they can close this out, because it will be a convincing attacking half of them if they can get this. They are all crammed into this northeast corner of the map. Aspect below here could get an absolutely crucial C4. I'm just not sure that he's got the intel to do so. He looks like he's just guessing a little bit. This could be match defining as to whether or not he gets any kills from his C4. Ick and Rash are doing a pretty good job of just holding down the attackers who are just pinned into this northeast side. Aspect kills the Hibana, who appears to have dropped below. ViZN here have made this swing round in their favour.
Swapping mags.
Just Moon left alive, who's finally come off of his spot. He's come into a walk-in. But him and Gunner do not have much utility to work with, nor many angles. Oh, nice shot there from Moon, taking the head off of the Jaeger. And the Moon with a double kill. Aspect left in the 1v2 situation. He hears a plant going down. If he can deny the plant, he does deny the plant. All he's got to do is hide. He just needs to run away. Just throw the C4 at the right spot, and he's got this. Moon here does have to push around. He's using the Deagle, presumably for a little bit of extra ADS. Moon with the 3K and the Deagle to clutch for round. That is absolutely crucial here. He's locked up themselves onto a very convincing attacking half of 4-2. And I think ViZN are going to be licking their wounds a little bit coming into the second half. I gotta say, I thought Aspect had done that when he downed the diffuser, and I can see why he went to where he did, so he could try and make use of the C4 across the site to deny a second plant. But maybe go below. You have a rough idea where it's going to be. I'm not sure if the Evil Eye was in the correct spot to be able to ping a plant. Very unfortunate for them, having come back from a 4-3 to put themselves into a 3v2, and then unfortunately just not able to deny it in the last couple of seconds.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Now, locked up here, actually preferring to go to trophy first instead of ABG, so not going kitchen, but again, another team who don't like playing ABG as their first site. And that is a lot of the wall open, so they're doing a really interesting castle setup here where they're reinforcing these funky path windows. Now, I really like this about Villa because you don't see structures like this in many other Siege maps where the windows protect a really crucial part of the site and just cut off these really strange angles you can get from outside. I'm not sure if you can, I think from this window you can potentially get an angle all the way through, but I'm not sure how much use that is to the attackers. I've seen quite a few setups where these walls are open, but not usually on both sides like that. And now, ViZN, it looks like they're going to send the Ash below just to try and clear it out. I wonder if they'll have someone droning for her. It does look like Expert is the designated droner. There are two people on the drones at the moment, so this is coordinated from ViZN. And they really do have it cut out against them here to turn what is a notoriously defender-sided map around. I have seen it happen. I have seen the rare matches in Pro League where both teams win attacking rounds more often than defensive sides. Ash and IQ just left here to go below and just do so much harm. Considering the Thatcher Bank play, I'm really surprised that Locked Up are choosing not to challenge this. And again, we're seeing another team, where they are just setting up on site, and all 5 of them are playing nearby, just investing into this utility, just hoping they can waste enough time without having to roam. Jäger there actually doesn't do any damage onto the sledge. He was holding quite a nice angle, but he just gets punished for it. KM does get lit up. It's very, very risky here from a Thermite. Although the wall is open, I suppose, and he is challenging the Echo, so it's not necessarily going to work out that badly for him if he does take this engagement. And that is a lot of utility getting dumped into this walking spot. I should imagine that Pro Hard Gunner is feeling a little bit dizzy, although he has vacated it by the looks of it, so I'm not sure if the attacker are aware that they had actually left the walk-in a little bit earlier than that.
A bomb has been located.
Or KM with the sweep across. And that's the angle that I was talking about, which is open because of this setup. Moon with a pistol headshot? I'm not quite sure what Moon's going on today with all of these Deagle and pistol headshots. Ash in an absolutely crucial spot, getting the kill onto Hades, opening the site wide up as she's just managed to get into trophy. Edge up going off somewhere, and ViZN looking really confident on this attack. And just Natix in the 1v4 situation with the ump, yeeting his impacts and actually killing the Ash in the process.
Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser. Defenders have located the diffuser.
And we have seen 5 out of 7 rounds on Villa go to the attack so far. I think I'm witnessing a miracle here. Especially considering that Echo and Maestro are both on the board. There's so much utility the defenders could be using. And Echo was in play there, but he's playing so aggressively. Let's see if that was just a flash in the pan, or if this actually continues to be attacker-sided. Locked Up doing a bit more of a traditional 20-second meta with the Castle and the Maestro in play, but not really doubling up on it. There's no Wamai in play. No Goyo. I can understand the desire for a C4, and the double roam makes sense, I suppose. I just wonder if they could do a little bit more to embed this strat with utility to break down.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So AVG, we've seen it once so far, I believe. I, for one, am quite surprised at how unpopular it is, and I wonder if them going to kitchen is actually what's causing this to be more attacker-sided. It is, as far as I'm aware, the third site for most teams. I don't know the stats behind it. I don't know if it is typically more attacker-favoured than the other sites, but I am surprised that it's coming out so soon from both teams.
10 seconds left before insertion.
It's been 50-50 in this match so far, so Trophy Statue has seen a lot more play than the other sides.
Out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Roadway barricaded. Drone activated. I've reinforced the wall. Reload.
Drone's up and running.
Vision here, I'm not sure if they're aware of this kitchen or not. I assume they are, but they are taking huge amounts of the map. Going in through walk-in, main entrance, study. They really are just trying to roam clear the whole map, which is potentially going to backfire on them, considering there's no one playing over there and they're wasting seconds of this round without actually taking anything crucial. Ix only just got onto the 90, 45 seconds gone, and there wasn't a single roamer playing on the AVG side. I just wonder if they could have skipped that and saved themselves a bit of time, but maybe the thoroughness will come back and help them at the end of the round. The pings are coming out here. Onto Moon, who's playing upstairs with the Maestro. Seems very weird to me here. Zeri does get the kill onto Aspect, so that's the IQ off the board. Moon does get finished off, so equal trade for the entry here. Expert, I don't think he was droned. I think that was just sheer luck in regards to that gunfight going one way or the other. Unfortunate there for Zeri, but good aim from Expert. And once again, Locked Up just struggling to get these defenses. I wonder if they're going to try and impact trick this, so it looks like they've just given up on it. And this castle barricade isn't going to last 2 seconds if Sledge wants to get it open. So this castle's playing a very, very dangerous game here. Relying on cover from utility, which could be gone in a couple of seconds' time. Does go for the flank. I'm wondering if... I'm not sure if Expert reacted to that very quickly, but... Natix is just outright running away. Trying to flank up the stairs. The guy is watching him. The Ash does get the kill, and Pro Hard Gunner left in a 1v4 situation. Gets the headshot onto the Ash. And the Sledge. He's got a good gun here. If he's able to reload, he's got 50 round magazine. And he's turned it into a 1v1 situation from a 1v4. The 1v4 clutch from Pro Hard Gunner. Showing the potential of Ella's gun here. And Locked Up at the moment are just winning their clutch situations. It really is changing this map. That could have been 4-4. It could have been 5-3 division by now if the clutches had gone the other way. And we do finally see AVG coming out from Locked Up, who did not deserve that round until Pro Hard Gunner carried them to it. As a team, I don't think that strategy worked. Just hitting all of the shots at the right time from Pro Hard Gunner. I think if there's a highlight reel for this week, I think that Moon and Pro Hard Gunner have put themselves into it. Hades on 1 and 6. Now, so is Rash, to be fair, and I thought they were both fraggers, but I suppose they're playing a little bit of a flex role here.
Your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I wonder if this Rook is a comfort picker, if they are using the impacts for tricking. Nope, that's not. That's the impact tricking out the window. And ViZN are leaving, so I'm just gonna
The
go.
pause when it's rehost.
Yep. Okie doke.
Good luck.
Yeah, have fun. Okay, we are hopefully back in at 5-3. Yes, and I'm praying that I've got the round history correct, and that will mean that Kitchen is locked off for them. So I think they need to go back to AVG, which they are doing. I'm worried that they're struggling to pick their operators here. I'm not sure how much of this was intentional. Very little of it by the looks of it. Nook and Blitz coming out from ViZN, I can only assume that was an accident. I think both teams had issues there when neither of them loaded in time.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So that is unfortunate, as both teams here are running operators who they weren't intending. But I'm happy because I get to see a Nook, and I really want to see if they actually have any use of her. X-Ray is just messaging in the chat saying that they couldn't pick their operators. It was on both sides, so from what I saw it looked like 2 players on each side didn't get to pick their operator, so it worked out fair in the least fair way possible. I'm not sure if we still got 12 people watching at the moment. We'll see how much difference the rehost makes. I think Locked Up were a little bit concerned it could swing the momentum, which, having seen the clutches which are coming out, I can understand ViZN wanting to take a break. And I've seen it in Pro League a few times, so I do wonder if teams sometimes force a rehost to try and take that mental break, which you're not able to get outside of a LAN environment, but got no evidence to suggest that at the moment. And to be fair, you can't. It happens in Pro League. I think it's a legit strategy at some points just to try and force a rehost. Controversial, yes. We see it fairly often, yeah. Four people on site here. Smoke playing near the bookshelves. I think this Pulse is actually soloing me, which is really brave. Sitting very far off site with the shotgun. I'm not sure if he wanted the shotgun or if that is just server lag which caused that, but he's rocking it. So let's see how it works out for him. Failed nade off of the ceiling there from Manuk, who I'm not sure if she was lit up by her own teammate. Goes for an incredible floor bang. I'm assuming she was getting a ping or a very accurate call out for that. And that is the smoke picked off. The Nook here pushing up the staircase. It doesn't look like she's being heard. Obviously, being a Nook that is intentional. And a lovely shot. She pushes it inside here. Almost gets the double kill. Lights up the Jaeger. Moon does get 1 kill as a Claymore trades it back and forth, but I think we're in a 2v2 now as Moon does down the diffuser. This reinforcement being left from the bookshelves angle is making Moon have to keep an eye on this. He does have a diffuser down here. He's been droned out, so it's going to be crucial if he's able to get this kill or not. And he is wide peeking around in sight, so he does see BIQ, lights are up. Oh sorry, no, I think that he doesn't actually hit any shots on there, which surprises me. And Gunner gets picked off, leaving Moon in the 1v2 situation. Here's the barbed wire getting rattled on the study door. I'm not sure if his IQs are going to be able to... They're actually both funneling in through this door, which surprises me. One of them needs to go around and make use of the second angle. Which Moon's anticipating. He knows where the diffuser is. He knows how much leeway he's got, but misses the shots on the IQ, and we do see it go 5-4 here. ViZN picking up an attacking round where both teams had to adapt. And I've got to say, the Nook actually really worked. Just giving them a split second where they were able to walk past that shield. I doubt we'll see that replicated though. Locked up, going back to AVG. I think we've seen about 3 defense wins so far. Villa rocking out a 60% attacker win rate, which is not something I expected to be saying. So, apart from a pulse, they are running more or less the same strat. The Echo actually being 6-picked onto, so the pulse from the last round does look like it was an accident. And sadly, we do see the Nook dropped.
Attackers need to locate
in favour of a more conventional Ash. I did wonder for a second if Ick would be tempted to go back on that, but alas no. I feel like he's going to be really annoyed that I called him Ick instead of IQ main the entire round, but oh well. And they're not moving any reinforcements off site by the looks of it. They're just relying on all of the site walls. I don't think they're reinforcing anything downstairs either.
10 seconds left before insertion.
I gotta say, I don't think either team has made full use out of Villa so far. They've had a lot of defenses where all 5 players have been near to site. There's not really been any duo roams that have really stretched out and made use of a full map. Now, if this heads to a 6-6, I think it'll be one of the most remarkable games of Villa I've watched. I gotta say, both teams do seem on par with each other, but they're both struggling on their defenses, which I wonder if they're just lacking a little bit of scrim practice, whether or not they've got these strats actually worked out fully.
A bomb has been located.
And they just know this player's playing on bookshelves. And once you know the vertical angle, it's really not that difficult to get rid of them. Ash just running underneath that vertical line from a bar running down. Gets the wrong angle onto the bookshelf. And that is both Ash charges wasted. Although she does get a kill up onto the K3d, I think was over peeking it a little bit too much. So, I say wasted because the Evilizer's still going to be up. I suppose they have got the grenades to make use of that, but they're going to have to be very careful with their projectiles. Gunner down here at the moment, just roaming in the toilet. Seems to have gone undetected. He's got the drone next to him. Decides just to leave it as he sneaks around here. 2 drones actually on his flank. 2 drones there. Nobody watching them. And I suppose you've got nobody dead, so it makes sense to, but they're just not watching that flank. If you're not going to rely on a drone, at least cover your back. And maybe Ick just missing a couple of shots, but Moon turns it into 4v3. Breaching the bar wall here. Attackers got a lot of control over study and bookshelves, but again, nobody seems to be watching this main stairs flank, and I'm just wondering if... Okay, the Nomad has actually air-jabbed it off this time. And Zeri has gone to hide in a corner, which is understandable. The IQ is still up though, so it's a brave decision. Leaving them in a 3v3 situation in sight. Echo close enough now, but he could actually come back if needs be, so wise decision there from Zeri. And KM's just staring into his smoke grenades. He's just got to bide his time here. Only 1 smoke canister left, but the Echo, it looks like one of the Yokai just get caught. And KM gets down as he walks into our finish off by the smoke canister. Aspect and Rash in a 2v4. Still hunting these Yokais down. I think that's both the Yokais off the board, but it's wasting so much of their time. The Jaeger just caught unaware. Does get down. 3v2. Rash attempting the plant. It's a lot of pressure on Aspect here to cover so many different angles. I think he's struggled to do it, and unfortunately that does leave Rash in the 3v1. Gets a kill onto the Echo. This would be another amazing clutch coming out if he manages to win this, but no. Locked up once again, winning the clutch situations, and Moon steals the points from Hades, who doesn't seem to care about it too much. And Moon, coming straight out of this rehost, has carried on the same form that he was showing throughout the defense. Does take it to match point here for Locked Up. I gotta say, this is the closest match I've casted so far. I do think ViZN have a huge amount of potential, and Locked Up are definitely one of the top teams, so I'm not surprised to see them just about breaking into the lead. But I think ViZN at the moment are further down in the league than they should be. Moon's been going for a wide variety of... he's been swapping between the Maestro onto a roaming role, which is quite strange to see, but... Gunner actually coming off the Jaeger onto the Maestro, and they have a lot of flexibility and Locked Up in terms of their roles.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I think Locked are a little bit more flexible than ViZN. ViZN seems to be having Ick and Aspect playing on the frag roles for the most part. KM's been doing their support work throughout the entirety of this game. Once again, we see the double UMP combo coming out on Kitchen, the Castle and the Pulse. In fact, we're seeing a really similar setup here from Locked Up.
10 seconds left.
I do wonder if the PS4 community is sometimes a little bit of an echo chamber.
5 seconds to insertion.
Strats which one team runs becomes very popular with several teams, and then you see the same strats
Attackers
being
are
run
moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
by a multitude of different players. But slight variations here. No hatch reinforced above laundry. Oh, and they actually are reinforcing the bedroom wall now, so not sure if they're going to get all three of them, but slightly different hold here coming out there. Once again, ViZN look like they're trying to roam clear the entire map, which I can't actually remember last time if that worked out in their favour or not. I think they actually, this is the round where the run out there from Jaeger just completely interrupting what I'm saying. Ignore me, Zeri's just talking all over me. Yeah, I think this is actually the round where ProHod got a clutch as Ella, so the attackers definitely were losing a lot of time, and they unfortunately here have struggled to get in the building. I think they may have lost their head a little bit. Lost a little bit of focus from that Jaeger run out, and they need to take a breather in between maps, I think, because that is the kind of match point situation which is just going to put them in a bad mood, and they've still got Theme Park here. I'm convinced that they can get Theme Park. I think it will be another close game, but we're going to have to see how they finish this map first. Expert and Nick do have control of the top floor. They've not recovered the diffuser yet. Oh, the Jaeger's actually just hiding and walking, and Expert, seemingly unaware, does walk in and get the kill on the Jaeger, who was playing very cheeky there and gets punished for it.
Attackers have recovered.
No hard breach left on the board, so they have the top floor control. They've got the vertical pressure, but they are going to have very little to work with. Just the side doorways, which are... This is probably the strength of Kitchen, I would say. If you're able to stop them breaching any walls, then the site entrances are so narrow that a cheeky nade coming out, dropped here through the floor. The server lag nearly making that backfire on Expert. It's a shame that I think the server is having a little bit of issue throughout this game. And Expert gets finished off there. It is IQ or Ick in the 1v4. I'm going to have to ask him in between the games how to pronounce his name.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
1v4, 35 seconds left. I think we all know which way this is heading. Unless it can pull off a 1v4 clutch. And he drops down into the basement. He is caught between a reinforcement and a castle barricade. And I think that... and now an Elamine. And if ViZN at this point aren't feeling frustrated, I don't know what they are feeling, because this has just been a really unfortunate round for them to finish off the game. And another castle barricade and barbed wire, and honestly, sit in a corner and take a breather. You've got Theme Park, just recuperate.
5 seconds
GG's
left.
coming out here to both teams who have put forward a very attacker-favoured Villa, but Locked Up do take it 7-4.
You have run out of time.
It's been a very fun game to cast. I must say there's been some really good clutches coming out from Locked Up, and ViZN really were not that far behind the entire time, but they do cede the defeat in the end.